Germany, a nation rich in history and culture, has a complex past that shaped the world as we know it. Born from the ashes of the Holy Roman Empire, Germany's roots can be traced back to the early Middle Ages, when the empire was a collection of diverse territories loosely connected under the banner of Roman Catholicism. By the 19th century, the Holy Roman Empire had morphed into the German Confederation, a cluster of 39 sovereign states. The Confederation was an unstable mix of monarchies, free cities, and territories, but it set the stage for the birth of a unified Germany. In 1871, under the guidance of the Iron Chancellor Otto von Bismarck, the German states were brought together into a single powerful entity, the German Empire. With this unification, Germany emerged as a major European power, asserting its dominance on the global stage. Yet, unbeknownst to all, the stage was set, and the path to its downfall had been laid. As the 20th century dawned, Germany found itself navigating a minefield of political, economic, and social upheavals. The country, once a beacon of culture and intellectualism, was now grappling with the aftermath of the Great War, a conflict that had shaken its very foundations. The impact of World War I on Germany was profound and long-lasting. The nation was left reeling, its economy in shambles, its people disillusioned and desperate. The war had claimed millions of lives, and the sorrow that hung in the air was palpable. The nation was wounded, and its pride deeply bruised. In the wake of this catastrophe came the Treaty of Versailles. This infamous agreement, signed in June of 1919, was intended to ensure peace but instead sowed the seeds of resentment. Germany was forced to accept full responsibility for the war, a bitter pill to swallow. The treaty also imposed punitive reparations, further straining an already beleaguered economy and fostering a sense of national humiliation. Amidst this turmoil, a sinister force was rising: Adolf Hitler and his National Socialist German Workers' Party, better known as the Nazi Party. With charismatic speeches filled with nationalistic fervor, Hitler managed to tap into the widespread discontent. He promised a return to greatness, a revival of German pride, and many in their desperation were swayed. By the early 30s, Hitler had seized control of the German government. The democratic institutions that had once governed the nation were dismantled, replaced by a totalitarian regime that suppressed dissent and championed racial purity. The stage was set for another catastrophic conflict, a war that would eclipse the horrors of the Great War and forever change the course of human history. Germany, under the iron fist of the Nazi regime, would plunge the world into a devastating conflict, setting the stage for its downfall. The prelude to the fall was a dark and tumultuous period, a time of despair, manipulation, and missed opportunities. Yet it's a story that needs to be told, a reminder of the perils of unchecked power and the importance of vigilance in the face of adversity. World War II, a conflict that swept across the globe, was the catalyst that would lead to Germany's fall. As the war began, Germany, under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, experienced a series of initial victories. The German war machine, known for its blitzkrieg or lightning war strategy, swept across Europe, swiftly conquering nations. Poland fell in a matter of weeks, France succumbed within 2 months, and even the mighty Soviet Union found itself on the back foot as German forces advanced deep into its territory. It seemed for a time that Germany was invincible, its power and influence spreading like a dark shadow over the continent. But the tide of war is unpredictable, and it was at the Battle of Stalingrad, a brutal confrontation in the harsh Russian winter of 1942, that the German juggernaut began to falter. The battle was intense, the city a labyrinth of destruction where the advantage seesawed between the two sides. But it was the Red Army that ultimately emerged victorious, marking the first major defeat of Hitler's armies and a turning point in the war. From the rubble of Stalingrad, the once invincible German forces began a slow, inexorable retreat. The Red Army reclaimed lost territory, pushing westward towards Germany. Simultaneously from the west, the Allies opened up a second front with the D-Day landings in June 1944, further splitting German resources. As the Allies advanced, they began their invasion of Germany. The German defenses, though fierce, could not hold back the combined might of the advancing armies. Cities fell one after the other, and the German people began to see the inevitable outcome. Hitler, isolated in his bunker in Berlin, continued to issue orders to an army that was all but defeated. Finally, in early May 1945, with Berlin surrounded and the Allies closing in, Hitler committed suicide in his bunker. His death marked the end of the Nazi regime, and left Germany leaderless and in chaos. A few days later, on May 7, 1945, Germany officially surrendered. The instrument of surrender was signed in Reims, France, and the next day, a second signing took place in Berlin for the benefit of the Soviet Union. These events marked the end of World War II in Europe and the beginning of a new era. The fall of Germany was not just the end of a war but the end of an ideology that had brought untold suffering and destruction. It was a time of reckoning, a time to mourn the millions lost, and a time to rebuild from the ruins. It was a moment that would shape the course of history and leave a profound impact on the world. On May 7, 1945, Germany officially surrendered, marking the end of World War II in Europe and the fall of Germany. With the fall of Nazi Germany, the world was left to pick up the pieces of a shattered continent. The end of the Second World War marked a new chapter in the story of Germany, one defined by division, tension, and eventually, reunification. As the dust settled on the war-ravaged landscape, the country was carved up like a pie among the victorious Allied forces. 4 zones emerged, each controlled by the United States, the United Kingdom, France, and the Soviet Union. The city of Berlin, despite being deep within the Soviet zone, was similarly divided. This partition set the stage for a tense standoff between the East and the West, a chilling period known as the Cold War. In the heart of it all, a physical manifestation of the ideological divide was erected. The Berlin Wall, a concrete barrier slicing through the city, became a symbol of the East's isolation from the West. Families were torn apart, dreams were put on hold, and the vibrant city was split in two. The wall stood as a stark reminder of the division, a silent sentinel bearing witness to the tension that pervaded the air. However, the German spirit is nothing if not resilient. Despite the division, people found ways to connect, to dream, and to hope for a better future. This hope was not in vain. As the Cold War began to thaw, the calls for freedom became louder and louder. In the autumn of 1990, after 4 decades of division, the impossible happened. The Berlin Wall came down, and Germany was once again a unified nation. The reunification of Germany marked a significant moment not just for the country, but for the entire world. It was a testament to the power of hope, the strength of the human spirit, and the enduring resilience of the German people. From a nation divided to a unified country, Germany's journey is a testament to the resilience of its people. It's a story of rebirth, of resilience, and of a nation's unyielding will to rise from the ashes. The fall of Germany is a pivotal chapter in the annals of history. Our journey began with the origins of Germany, a nation of diverse cultures and peoples, bound together by shared language and traditions. From its early beginnings as a collection of tribes and princedoms, Germany emerged as a unified nation in the late 19th century, setting the stage for a tumultuous future. We then moved to the prelude to the fall, a period in history marked by intense nationalism, political maneuvering, and the rise of a dictator. Here, the seeds of Germany's downfall were sown. The nation, driven by a vision of global dominance and racial purity, embarked on a path that would lead to unimaginable destruction. Our exploration continued with World War II and the fall of Germany. This was a time of unprecedented turmoil and devastation. Fueled by an aggressive ideology, Germany plunged the world into the deadliest conflict in human history. Yet the tide of war turned, and Germany found itself overwhelmed by the concerted efforts of the Allied forces. The fall of Berlin in the spring of 1945 marked the end of Nazi Germany, and the beginning of a long and challenging road to recovery. In the aftermath of the war, Germany faced the daunting task of rebuilding from the ashes. A nation divided, its people grappling with the horrors of the past, set out on a journey of transformation. Through trials and tribulations, Germany emerged as a beacon of resilience and redemption, a testament to the indomitable human spirit. Germany's history serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked aggression and the power of resilience in the face of adversity. The fall of Germany, a story of power, devastation, and ultimately, resilience.